voices, which are our special guests, Richard and Nawara. um, I said,
Yeah. Just before we give the virtual stage over to Richard, I wanted to present you with just a short bio of his, so you get an understanding of who we have with us today. So, as a Nigerian born musician, poet, and storyteller, Richard puts a modern spin on the African music of his youth to create a sound that is rooted in tradition while looking boldly to the future. The heart of his music lies in the Nigerian melodies that give a special appeal to the African continent and the Caribbean. The result is a sound that transcends borders and cultures alike. Currently, Richard is working on his debut album titled Nature Does Not Rush, which will introduce his deft guitar playing and rich voice to the world. And we're going to get a taste of that.
Yeah. Yes, it's okay by me. Okay. So this is it. Welcome everybody. I'm not used to Zoom, so if I have any technical difficulty, please bear with me. And I hope that you can understand everything I say. I'm just going to be, first of all, I want to thank you, Professor Marie, for bringing me on board here to just share the little thing I've been experimenting with in my personal time. To go straight into the point, all protocols observed, because I know it's Poetry Week, I'm going to talk about the Igbo people. I'm going to introduce the Igbo people, talk about their culture, and then I'm going to be doing 3 poems, which I know that Stone has all the, he has it set up, and then I'm going to be playing a tune for you guys. So the Igbo people, who are these people? The Igbo people is one of the great major tribes in Nigeria. Nigeria has 3 popular tribes, and it's Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. And the Igbo people happen to be one of those tribes, consisting of over 100 million people. That is, some of them are scattered around the world, and there's a reason for that. The Igbo people is also is part of the world's greatest 10 tribes. The world is documented officially as the world's greatest 10 tribes. The Igbo people is there. And you can get your pen and paper and take down this book by Emichua. It's called The World on Fire. It's a chapter on dominant ethnic groups. The book is by Emichua. It's called World on Fire. And you can read that chapter on dominant ethnic groups to understand what she meant there. And he said that the Igbo people is one of the 10 greatest tribe in the world. And we have a worldview. Our worldview, we call it Omenala. And Omenala also has something to do with the earth, the ground. We call it the traditions of the ground. So it's Omenala because it's the tradition of the community, and it's the land of the people. So, okay, I wrote all these things down to make sure I give you everything. And this, just a simple thing about these people is that they are part of a war in Nigeria, that the only civil war that happened in Nigeria. And this war gave birth to the modern day Red Cross. It's called the Biafra War because the Red Cross never imagined they could fly Boeing planes full of food to deliver in countries until Biafra War happened. And when Biafra War happened and the world took sides, the Red Cross, the ICRC then had to find a way to get food, even though Britain did not want it to happen. And if you are interested in reading about the Biafra War, if you Google it like everybody does, when people want to know something now, they go on Google. People forget to ask their mom. Me, I ask my mom. I call my mom and ask her. And if she don't know, then I can ask Google. But the thing is that this war really affected the people and has formed who we are. So let's go straight into what we have to do today. Is that me? Okay. I want to be sure because I had an agreement with Zoom this evening before we started. Okay. Oh, thank you, Stone. I'm going to be talking about a poem, 3 poems. And before I go into this poem, it's done by an Igbo man. So in case you're wondering why are we talking about the Igbo, this poem is done by an Igbo man. And this poem, I'm going to tell you the setting of this poem. Because I have... Okay, maybe I'll read from your Stone. Oh, I see. I don't have to open mine. All right. I have the poem. This poem... So there's a man called Ginger Baker. I don't know if most of you know Ginger Baker, the professional rock and roll famous drummer. He's still the best of the best, the finest rock and roll drummer. Because why is he the finest? Because he experimented with he experimented with visionary sounds. He broke cultures, trying to fuse music from different cultures together. And in doing that, he embarked on a trip in search of new sound. And he embarked on that trip with his friend, a documentary filmmaker that has also won so many awards. And there they embark on this trip across the Sahara Desert in their motorcycle and stuff. And they ended up in Ghana. And while he's in Ghana, he hears this song on the radio. It's a Nigerian song. He goes to Nigeria, and after spending time in Nigeria, he set up a studio. In Nigeria, it was the biggest studio in the world then, because it could compete with Sony Music Studio. And even Paul McCartney came to record in Lagos, Nigeria in 1973. And that was when Arc Studio Lagos was born. And this studio was born, and because he was one of the finest, the country hadn't seen anything like that. People came from all over to deliver this poem, their songs and creative works. And one of the people there was Nnamdi Olebara. People have called him the weeping prophet. Some people have said he's a deity on his own. But this poet has put the epistemology of the people in poems, our thoughts and aspirations and our hopes. And he has it's an audio recording. And I would like Stone, are you supposed to play it? So the format here is you're going to listen to the Igbo version, then I'm going to read the translated work. Yeah. All right. Let me mute myself. Okay, that is the haunting voice of Nnamdi Olebara over a microphone in 1973 in Lagos. Why are the people weeping? My dear friend. And this, before I go on, this is an epitaph. And we know what an epitaph is. It's written this for a young man in the Igbo culture that has passed on. Very young, died at a very young age. And he writes this epitaph. And this is a conversation between two people going somewhere. Why are the people weeping? My dear friend, something huge has happened on a huge market day. The day has suddenly turned to night. My eyes have seen my ears. An old hen has laid an egg. A man has become pregnant. The rains came down without warning. The rooster never came home to roost. The women will climb a great tree, even if it falls to the ground. When a sack is full, you bind it. And the second person says, who died? And the other guy continues, don't you know the strong man that does what he says? The man who fears not. The strong man you can't sharpen a knife in front of. The strong man known by his great achievements. The friend of the people. The strong man that will tell you to your face. A dependable man in time of great need. But what has beaten the dog to death is a strong thing. The pillar of the house has fallen. Onyemechi Nnamdi is dead. We forbid. Good things can never be held. When another's corpse is being carried, it seems like a log of wood. Where were our ancestors? What were they doing in the land of the spirits that they would permit death to take you at a young age? Were they sleeping or were they chasing a mouse while their house was on fire? Nnamdi, your God knows what happened to you. Tears fill the eyes of your friend. One who knows tomorrow should go and ask your God questions. If that place is better, prepare the way for us, for we are coming. If it is not, tell our ancestors that we are ashamed of them. We will dig up their skulls and burn them, for a snake never bites a child in front of the mother. And I won't really dwell on this poem because there won't be much time for other poems, but let me talk about some certain things that strike a chord to me in this poem. First of all, he's talking about a young man that has passed on, Nnamdi Olebara. And if you look at this poem, it's between two people. It's common in the Igbo culture for people to either be going to the market. That is when they have their conversation. That is when they have a conversation of like a gossip, right? And people mark, we don't mark time by 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. There's nothing like that. You see, that concept of time is historically adopted from the navigation, the sailors. We don't mark time like that in traditional Igbo community. The way we mark time is by, we tell you, meet me when the first market day, I will give it to you. Meet me when the sun is just by so corner, I'll give it to you. Meet me when the moon is full and we will have that dance, So we don't mark time by 2 o'clock. We mark it based on the phenomenon of the things around us, and this is part of the way we mark time. And again, one thing I want to point out here, our ontological order. The Igbo people have an ontological order of the way we look at people. And if you look at this poem, you see the characters here is a young man, 2 elders, and then the ancestors, right? So where is their order in our society? In our society, we have order because we believe that societies cannot really coexist without order. So in the first order, we have the supreme beings. And the second order, we have the deities. And in the third realm, we have the ancestors. And in the fourth realm, we have the priests. We have the diviners in the fifth realm. And then in the sixth realm, we have the elders. In the seventh realm, we have the titled men. In the eighth realm, we have the adult men. In the ninth realm, we have the women. In the 10th realm, we have the children. And in the 11th realm, which is 11 realms, we have the unborn. We keep a place for the unborn in our realm, in ontological order. And moving from that, because I don't want to really get into this poem will take our time. It's a deep one. So let's get to the ancestors. Why will he talk to the ancestors as though they were standing in front of him? If you notice in the poem, he's talking to the ancestors as if they are standing there. He said, what were you guys doing? Were you chasing a mouse? Because he relinquished the responsibility of protecting the community to the ancestors. So, what is playing out here is, first of all, two things I'm going to talk about here. Two things here. I'm going to talk about our belief of life, which will lead me on to my next poem. I'm going to talk about reincarnation. Reincarnation. The Igbo people, we believe in reincarnation. We believe so much in that the title of this poem is Onyemechi Nnamdi. Literally translated, it means, who knows tomorrow? And then the second one means, Nnamdi means, my father is. Nnamdi is an expression of a name we give to a child that has come for a man that is bereaved of his dad. He has been bereaved of his dad, but when his son comes, he calls him Nnamdi. My child is that my father has come back again to comfort me. So we believe in reincarnation. And maybe the author, I don't know what he's trying to do here when he titled the poem Onyemechi Nnamdi, and striking those chords again inside the poem. And going from that, talking about the ancestors and the role we believe they have to play in our community, the role of guiding us, protecting us. There are we believe that they have gone to the yonder, yes, but they have a responsibility to play in the land of the living. And that is why he asked the ancestors, where were you that you will allow this to happen? And let me, one other very important thing here, talking about the elders. The place of the elder, if you look at the realm I have spoken, we have a place of the elders. It says, for a snake never bites a child in front of the mother. For a snake never bites a child in front of the mother. If you think it deep, you already kind of understand it. The role of elders in society, the role of ancestors in society. That is that chord that has been struck there. And there are little things too that we can go on and on. But let us move from there quickly because there's no time. And look at our second poem. Our second poem, please, can you play it for us, Stone? Yeah, can you play the audio? It's okay. Okay, another haunting voice. This one is, he has titled it, I Will Be a Vulture. But when I was adapting it For my English audience, I'll call it when I come again. Because that is what he says. When I come, let me see. Which one did you put up there? Yeah, it's supposed to be when I come again. I will be a vulture. I will be a vulture. Yeah. It's okay, I'm going to just read while I'm going to find the text also here and read it while okay. Where is that? You see what I'm saying? I don't know how to operate this thing. Oh, I see the chat. Okay. All right, we're back. We're good, right? I will be a vulture. Now, before I read this, I want to let you guys understand why would somebody desire to be a vulture? You know, why would someone desire to be a vulture when they come again? When I come again, how can you come again? That is that resounding theme of reincarnation. When I come again, in the Igbo culture, we call this a metaphysical wailing. You can write it down and begin to look into your culture and begin to look at the metaphysical wailing of your culture. It's called metaphysical wailing, meaning that it's like writing a metaphysical wail. When I come again, I don't want to be a human being. And this helps us in our culture that we don't really have in the traditional, and again, before I continue, this is key, please. Most people that have traveled to Africa, maybe they went on Peace Corps or so many things. I don't know. You have to make sure when you go to Africa, you go to the real traditional African society. Like, for example, you cannot go to Nigeria and go to Lagos and Abuja and come back and tell me you went to Africa. I just know you did not. You went to a Hollywood wannabe. Hollywood wannabe. That is not Africa. And the reason is because every society has what they call primate cities. You can write it down and do your research again. It's a sociological term. It's called primate cities. A city, due to the duress of urbanization, becomes what it is. It's formed from the duress of urbanization. So it is no more traditional. And it might not be defined as mechanized. And that is okay, but it's a primate city and doesn't have the rigors of a traditional society. So you have to really look for an African society to visit. And now, to move on, let me read the poem. When I come again in this world, I will be a vulture. I am angry being a human being. When I come again, I will not be a chicken, giving birth and not reaping the benefits thereof. I will not be a dog, vomiting and eating it back up. I will not be a domestic animal, loved by its owner. When the day of feasting comes, I will be killed and eaten. The love of this world is senseless. When I come again, I will be a vulture. My territory is the marketplace. I will be freer than a human being. You have to mark that freer. I'm coming to that word. I will be freer than a human being. I will perch on the house of the great and the small. I will carry away their meat without fear. I will go everywhere like a king, and nobody will kill me. When I come again, I will be a vulture. I will have no friend. I will have no enemy. Okay, why would this poet choose a vulture? Why didn't he choose an ego? Why didn't he choose a dog? So he said he gave his reason for not being a dog, right? And I look at that word freer, and that word freer is enshrined in the Igbo people's culture. Again, you have to write down this. It's called the Virginia Landing. It happened in Virginia. Write it down and you can research it. It's a group of Igbo people that was brought slavery into America. They refused to be taken into slavery. They walked back into the ocean and drowned themselves. And in Virginia today, you have the relic site of that place, and you can go there and look for it. It's called the Virginia Landing. It's an indomitable spirit of an Igbo people. So why are they one of the world's greatest 10 tribes? Okay, now that spirit is the spirit that has lingered on in Jamaican music. Most of the Igbos, most of the Jamaicans are Igbos. They are Igbo slaves that some of their sheep dumped them there on that island. And historically and root, if you look at their roots, they are Igbos. And that is why in their song, they sing about freedom. They sing about abandoning the system. Why will they do that? We are still on the word freer. Remember, we are on that word freer. He wants to be freer than a human being. Why will the Igbo man have such a republicanism? How do you guys call it? It's a republicanism. It's a spirit, a republican spirit of the Igbo. And now, for you to get more information on the Jamaican Igbos, you can go read a book I read so many times and stopped reading. I got tired of it. It's too big. It's called Jamaican Igbos, Archibald Monteat. It's written by Maureen Warner Lewis. I have it here on my desk in my studio down there. And you can buy it too and read it and understand what happened on the ships on the way to Jamaica and how Jamaicans are Igbos, if you care to. Haven't talked about that. I also want to, okay. Now, if you look at this, it speaks of the epistemology we hold in animism, right? We are talking about animals here. And why does he compare himself to an animal? Why did he not compare himself to a king? Why does he not want to be a king? Why did he not want to be a prince when he comes again? But he said he wants to be rather an animal. And he doesn't want to be specific kind of animals. He wants to be a specific kind of animal. The reason is because in the Igbo culture, we respect every living thing. We subjectify, we give a subject. The animal plays a subject in the community, it's part of the community. Right? And that's the way we treat plants too. We treat plant like that because we talk to plant. In the Igbo culture, we have what we call dibia. And a dibia is a medicine man, which in our ontological order I have explained, he goes to the plant to beg the plant to allow the plant to be plucked. You see, he wants to make some concoction to give to a sick person, but he has to go plead with the plant and say, please, can I pluck you? And because we also respect that in our culture. And haven't talked about that, he says that, he doesn't want to have friend and he doesn't want to have no enemy. He's still talking about that republican spirit of the Igbo people. I think we will move ahead from here. Time is running, please. There is a lot I had written down, but let's move ahead. Let's go to Old Woman. Okay, I think this one is self-explanatory. It's one of his simple poems, but it's deep too. Let me see what time we have. I'm conscious of time. All right. This is Old Woman. It's talking about the beauty in the face of the old woman, and the beauty that no one could see, but I see it. You see, what struck me here is the beauty that since no one has decided to see this beauty, the last two lines, it appears to me that the poet here, now me, I'm just doing I'm going to be, say things that have astounded me working with this. It appears to me that in those last two lines, he's saying it is common for everybody not to see it. So today I'm going to force myself to see it. You see, I want you to look at that too. Like, he says, since no one sees this beauty on your face, I see this beauty on your face this day. It's a determination to see it. It's not just something that you see. You determine to see it. And that has taught me to drive slowly when I get to Camel and I get to Pebble Beach and I see the elderly people. They can take 1 hour. If they want to take 1 hour to cross the road, no problem. I will also put off my engine and wait for them 1 hour. Because I know from the poem I read that I'm going to get there. It's just a matter of time. So, okay, back to what we are doing. Now, this poem talks about seniority. Old woman, seniority, which is a key thing in the Igbo culture. We respect elders. And I didn't see that when I came here. This culture is very individualistic in nature. And I didn't say that, I didn't say that, but I'm trying to remember which of the Western philosophers that has, I think is either Thomas Hobbes or who, had talked about organic solidarity. You can Google that. He talked about the word called organic solidarity. And he talked about mechanical solidarity. And I've forgotten I've forgotten his name. But now, what we have down there is organic solidarity, where we respect elders. The society is not that mechanical. It's not. And we take pride in that. When we get to the bus stop, we see an elder, we let them pass. We see an elder in the bus, we stand up, they sit. An elder want to collect something from you, you can't use your left hand and take it. You use your right hand. When you see an elder, you stop for them. Because we have a proverb that says, it's an Igbo proverb, it says that what a child will climb a tree to see, an elder will sit down and see it. What a child climbed the tree to see, an elder will sit down and see it. So we have that recourse to elders. It's respect for seniority. And we can see that in the Igbo culture when we break kola nut. We have what we call the breaking of kola and the sharing of things. We respect that too. And again, if you look at this poem, it has talked about the beauty in the maiden's face. The maiden is like okra. Okra, maybe we know what okra is. He says she glitters like the star, but when old age comes, it spoils that beauty. And when a proverb of bones is being uttered, it looks as if it is for the old woman. The old woman becomes ashamed of herself. It's as if the topic is the old woman. And look at her ribs that is worn out, like showing off like a worn out basket. But I will see this beauty on your face. The beauty of the inside of the village, not the beauty of the city. The beauty of the village beauty, talking about the inner beauty, which people cannot see. I have determined to see it this day. And that is it. I'm going to try to play you guys a tune quickly. We don't know where time is going, but we want to have room for questions. So I try to play you a tune. Before you ask me questions, I ask you my own questions. You see, this song, I wrote this song some weeks ago. Because how do you go to the moon? You see, when everybody come into this world, they give us the gift of curiosity. That's the only thing you have. Naked you come, naked you go. The gift of curiosity, why? Because everybody can see the sun. The moment from the day you are born, you see the sun, you start wondering, what is that? Nobody teach you to wonder. So how do you go to the moon? It's by being curious. If you can be curious enough, take the lifetime, you get to the moon. Science and technology did not take anybody to the moon. Maybe Africa would have been on the moon. Maybe black man would be on the moon if they didn't cut our curiosity short. You see? Don't let anybody cut your curiosity. Don't cut the curiosity of little children short. You know, this is questions. How does the air revolve by and by? How come the rainbow? It's in the sky. How do the birds learn to fly? By and by, oh, be unfair for me to ask. I hope it won't be unfair for me to questions in my mind without no answers, and all of the time I guess I'm trying to find. I have words they are unspoken, my feelings unattended. Here on earth is like a rolling stone. I hope it won't be unfair for me to ask. Hope it won't be unfair for another one. He has a gun in his hands. He walks in that store and he shoots the women down. How long shall we face? Who is that? Who is that? And how shall we face these crimes that are unsolved and seems independence we know we're down. Hope it won't be unfair for me to ask. I hope it won't be unfair is a girl that has had a dream. Has a dream. It's called unlaw. And a dream, her brother and sister is chasing her to kill her, but she don't know that it's her brother and sisters chasing her. But they are wearing a mask. And so when they get to her to use the knife on her, she said, please don't kill me. I have brothers and sisters. Please don't kill me. I have brothers and sisters. Give me a minute for that. Say, please don't kill me. I have brothers and sisters. I can tell you their names. In a dream. It's a recurring dream. think my job is done. Now I take the questions. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to this stretch. Yeah. And it's time for questions and me to clear assumptions. Thank you. Well, Maddox is my friend, but I think this is also an important question to him. So, although he's my friend, but I think that everybody need to find solace in a cultural background, and the word solace to find comfort that gives you self-assurance, so you don't get lost. Imagine the millions of people walking around in New York, and you walk around without a culture. you will get lost because you're thinking in English. English language is not something to think in. It's a business language you use when you go for meeting, and you just like wearing a suit. If you don't want people to see you can't wear pajamas to a meeting. You wear a suit. Suit, you don't wear it to bed. So when you want to think, you don't put on your English cap. You put on a cultural cap to think. And you decipher what you want to get. Because remember, the Igbo people, we call this culture omenala. It is the culture of the land. The land is where your foot is on. So you cannot even do without it. It has to guide you. So I think it's finding self-assurance, having something to fall back to, having solace as they, so they don't get lost in this thing where urbanization everywhere. So I hope I answer your question. Something to learn from, yeah. This one, dogs. Can you shh? All right. All right. I think we nailed it at 6:49. That's good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. If there are no questions, permission to sign out. All right. Yeah, you're my other friend. Okay, first of all, yeah, see that shit talking. I just saw it. I see me and Zoom. But then again, I think that, well, sometimes we find ourselves doing some things and we don't know why we are doing it. And if you would care to listen to artists like Gil Scott talking about the voices of our parents are in us, trying to live on. And if you can listen, you will hear them. That's how that album goes. And it's a Gil Scott album, and it's so true. So when sometimes you see people doing some things, they don't even know the similarity. I happen to come from another culture. I can piece it together sometimes. I can see some similarity. If I start talking about it, giving examples. But yes, sometimes I do see similarity. If that's the question, I do see similarity between the cultures and the African Americans here. But they need to understand where it's coming from and the context of that culture to help them embrace it better. This is a publicity stunt, but it's on Spotify. It's coming out May 8th. It's Ekene music. It's on Spotify. You can pre-save it on my Instagram. There's a link to pre-save it on my Instagram. And I thank you all for listening. I can see everybody. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you. Michelle, I can see you. I can see everybody. Lauren, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Friends and family. And all protocols observed again at Middlebury. Thank you.